Welcome to Charlie's Chills, where we unravel bone-chilling real haunted stories from around the world. I'm Charlie, your host, bringing you tales from the internet and our listeners that will haunt your dreams. Follow us on X, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlie's Chills for your daily dose of spookiness. If you're creeped out and captivated, like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform. And if you want to dive deeper into the shadows, contribute through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. All links in the description. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the world of Charlie's Chills. Growing up, I attended an all-boys school, and opportunities to interact with the opposite sex were few and far between. But every year-end, my close-knit group of friends and I had a tradition. We'd book a chalet, have a barbecue, and celebrate. We didn't care which chalet; it could be Pasir NTUC chalet or UDMC chalet. Our escapades were fully funded by our allowances and part-time jobs, and parental supervision was conspicuously absent. Naturally, this led to an abundance of alcohol, though our underage status limited our choices to beer, bourbon cokes, and Bacardi breezers. Typically, it was just us guys, but one particular year, after O-levels when I was 16, some of us actually had girlfriends, including me. For some reason, we decided to invite them along for the gathering. That year, we managed to secure the double-story unit at UDMC Chalet. The early hours of the gathering were uneventful. We grilled, drank, and smoked. Yes, I know, underage and reckless, but we were young. As hormonal teenagers, we eventually sought some private time. My girlfriend and I, along with two other couples, ventured outside, closer to the beach. In the heart of Pasir Ris, there stood a tower, shrouded in darkness past midnight. It reached an eerie 3 to 4 stories high, with narrow staircases leading to various landings. Not wanting to waste too much time, my girlfriend and I settled on the second staircase landing for some privacy. It was dimly lit, the perfect setting for our intimate moment. As we lost track of time, roughly half an hour passed before a blood-curdling scream pierced the night from the top of the tower. At first, we laughed, thinking one of our friends had gotten carried away. My girlfriend even playfully pushed my hand away from her. Up above, the couple continued to laugh, but their laughter soon took on an unsettling tone. It was no longer normal laughter; it sounded like malevolent mirth echoing from all around the tower. The couple above us abruptly fled, running down the tower's stairs. My girlfriend and I also got up, but I felt compelled to ascend and investigate. With every step, the air grew colder, and the laughter seemed to intensify. When I reached the top, the chilling darkness greeted me, and I stumbled into a friend who stood at the pinnacle of the staircase. "What's going on?" I asked, but he merely pointed toward the center of the tower. Squinting, I strained to see. His girlfriend knelt on the floor, swaying back and forth. I approached and tapped her on the shoulder. Suddenly, she bolted upright and sprinted down the stairs. We gave chase, but her agility, considering the alcohol we'd consumed, was astonishing. The other two girls remained with my other friend. Back at the chalet, she locked herself in a bedroom on the second floor, and despite our attempts to coax her out, she wouldn't respond. Hours passed, and she finally emerged, accompanied by the other girls. They had all attended the same all-girls school near my secondary school, and they were genuinely close. The details of what transpired inside the room remained a mystery, but her prolonged crying was undeniable. By the time they got her to the bathroom to clean up, the sun had already risen. She left the chalet alone, refusing my friend's offer for a ride home, while the other two girls went to sleep. According to my girlfriend, they found the distraught girl naked and huddled in a corner, her body covered in long, bloodied scratch marks, particularly around her chest and thighs. When questioned, she could hardly form coherent sentences, mentioning a deep male voice whispering in her ear, taunting her and coercing her to do things with my friend that she vehemently resisted. Initially, she believed it was my friend playing a prank, but when she opened her eyes, she saw a pale, disembodied face with bloodshot eyes beside him. Terrified, she was pushed back into a kneeling position, trapped until I tapped her on the shoulder and she awoke. Desperate to escape, she inexplicably stripped off all her clothes, feeling utterly unclean. My friend's version of events remained vague. He was relishing the moment 1 minute, and the next, she was in the throes of hysteria in the middle of the tower. He hadn't heard the male voice, only the laughter, which he attributed to us below. He hadn't seen anyone or anything. Naturally, the two broke up shortly after, as did my girlfriend and I. The third couple stayed together and, over 20 years later, now has 3 kids. That night marked the first and last time we ventured near that tower. A year later, during another chalet with the same group of male friends, and new girlfriends for me and my friend, we contemplated exploring the tower during daylight, but ultimately decided against it. The haunting events from the previous year served as a powerful deterrent, a chilling reminder of what we had encountered. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at charlieshills to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. Back in 2006, I was a 14-year-old kid, a freshman in secondary school. It was the first day of a school-organized camp, and we arrived at Charlie Camp around 11 a.m. After a briefing by the camp facilitators, they led us to our dormitories. I was excited to spend time with my classmates. Little did I know that something terrifying was lurking in the shadows. The first night passed without incident, but the second night, that's when it happened. After a day filled with activities, it was time to hit the sack. If I remember correctly, it was around 10:30 p.m. when the lights went out, signifying lights off. Just as I was about to drift into slumber, my dorm mate, Sarah, who slept on the top bunk bed, climbed down and claimed to have seen a white figure hovering past the window. I dismissed her, telling her not to talk nonsense, especially since it was a Friday night. In our culture, Friday nights are considered auspicious, believed to be a time when ghostly sightings and eerie encounters are most likely to happen. Sarah seemed on the verge of tears, and I could sense her fear. I offered her my bed, and she accepted, so we swapped. I was okay with it. I glanced at my wristwatch. It was already 11:30. As I sat up and scanned the dimly lit dormitory, it appeared that everyone else was already fast asleep. I lay back down, attempting to sleep. Then, out of nowhere, my eyes locked onto a tall, white figure materializing in the corner of the room. Could this be the same apparition that Sarah had seen? The spectral figure began to drift across the room, passing by rows of beds before making its way toward mine. As it approached, its features became more distinct. It resembled a tall woman with white hair and a grotesque, demonic countenance, red, glowing eyes and menacingly sharp teeth. Its head was tilted to the side. I covered myself with my blanket and prayed fervently that it wouldn't stop at my bed. I recited whatever prayers came to mind, hoping for protection. Somehow, I eventually drifted off into an uneasy slumber, only to be awakened by one of the camp facilitators the next morning. I asked Sarah if she had seen the white figure again after we swapped beds, but she said she managed to fall asleep under her blanket. So, in the end, I was the only one who had the chilling encounter. Lucky me. I wanted to inform the camp facilitators about my eerie experience, but I never got the chance. Even if I had, I doubted they would be surprised. I'm sure they had their own ghostly encounters there and had grown accustomed to such phenomena. My respect goes out to them for enduring it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlieshills to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. I'm June, and I live on Ishuan Street 51. This unsettling incident occurred back in late 2019. Strangely, before this unsettling event, we had experienced other eerie occurrences in our home. Unexplainable noises, like the sound of a dining table chair being moved or dragged, echoed through our living room when no one was present. When my husband and I investigated, we found all the chairs untouched. Another time, my husband heard my voice calling to him, even though I was away from home. Our last resort was to seek alternative help, as we suspected our house might be haunted. These unsettling experiences had haunted us since we moved here. I confided in my father about the disturbing incidents, and he chastised me for not telling him sooner. He assured us that he knew someone who could help. This Friday, after the Friday prayers, my friend, and us dads, will come to your house. He's not some witch doctor, he's a religious scholar. Make sure both of you are at home that day. This is a serious matter, don't wait for things to get worse. Today is Tuesday. Please be extra cautious, my father insisted, his voice filled with concern. On the night before help arrived, the most terrifying experience of my life unfolded. I returned home from work around 8 p.m., expecting to find my husband there since it was his day off. When I called him, he said he had gone out to buy dinner for us. As I stood at the entrance to the kitchen, I felt an overwhelming urge to turn and look at the service yard. To my horror, I saw the figure of a woman hovering there, a Pontianak. What was more unsettling was that her face was exposed. It wasn't a blurry facade, her features began to take shape. She looked almost human but had white eyes and a chilling grin, revealing sharp teeth. My feet felt rooted to the floor, and my body trembled, unable to break free from the demon's gaze. And then, everything went black. When I regained consciousness, I was in my husband's arms. I asked him what had happened, and he explained that he found me lying on the kitchen floor when he returned home. He carried me to our room and tried to revive me, thankfully with success. I recounted the terrifying sight I had witnessed and emphasized the urgent need for help. The next day, my husband and I took urgent leave from work. My father, the Ustads, and his assistant arrived around 3 p.m. The Ustads asked for permission to inspect our house, from the living room to our bedroom and finally, the kitchen. I recounted my encounter with the Pontianak in the service yard. The Ustads then performed a prayer, and after completing it, he explained what had been happening in our house. He revealed that the entity, in this case, the Pontianak, had been present in our house even before we moved in. These entities often pass through homes, but in your case, it has been residing here even before this building was constructed. Now is the time to stay strong and have faith in Allah. Inshallah, your troubles will be alleviated. Remember to perform your salat at home whenever you can. Recite when entering your house, especially when no one is home. Today, I will do my best to help you, but the rest, we must leave to Allah, the Ustads advised. Thankfully, the disturbances ceased after that day. To this day, my husband and I have not forgotten the Ustads' guidance. We continue to perform our prayers together and recite the special prayer when we return home. That's my eerie tale, and I eagerly await your interpretation of the Pontianak I encountered. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. Back in 2004, the eerie incident occurred. My father often visited my aunt, who lived in a peculiar block known as the Orphan block due to its solitary existence. My aunt, a divorcee, resided there with her daughter and my grandmother. We sometimes accompanied my father on his visits, and it was during one such visit that something truly unsettling transpired. On that fateful night, my father went to see my aunt and shared dinner with her and the family. Around 11 p.m., he bid them farewell and began his journey home. As he strolled along the dimly lit corridor towards the elevator, an odd sensation hung in the air. The corridor was eerily silent, and an unusual fragrance lingered, a scent reminiscent of exotic perfume. Unperturbed, my father continued his walk, and so did the mysterious woman who had appeared just a few meters ahead. It seemed as though she was heading toward the end of the corridor. Then, a chilling realization washed over my father. The woman he'd been trailing had no legs at all. She wore a short-sleeved blouse and a long skirt, but beneath that skirt, nothing. Panic washed over him, but he turned to the protective verses of the Holy Quran, reciting them with unwavering faith. Suddenly, the woman, perhaps aware that she had been discovered, decided to unveil her true form. In an unsettling display, her head twisted backward, revealing a grotesque and terrifying countenance. My father's heart raced, but he didn't waver. He continued to recite his prayers, steadfast and unyielding. You see, my father wasn't one to be frightened by such entities, not even a malevolent female spirit. The demonic woman bared her jagged teeth before vanishing into the shadows, leaving an eerie void in her wake. After this chilling encounter, my father still visited my aunt as though nothing extraordinary had occurred. He did share his spine-tingling experience at Sin Ming, and it wasn't his first brush with the supernatural. He advised me not to fear these entities and to hold on to my faith in Allah. Honestly, I can't predict how I would react if I were to cross paths with such supernatural beings. Fortunately, I've never encountered any, and I'm not eager to experience them anytime soon. As we wrap up another spine-tingling episode of Charlie's Chills, thank you, fearless listeners, for joining our eerie exploration. Keep the chills alive by following us on X, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlie Chills. Like, share, subscribe, or follow, and stay connected. For those who dare to venture further, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. Your support fuels our haunting tales. Find all the links in the description. Stay haunted, stay curious, and stay tuned for more chilling stories. This is Charlie, signing off.